Hello and welcome to City Tech Tips. I'm your host, Doug Nouwen. Would you like to learn how to clean up all those extra buttons in your Microsoft Outlook? Well, let me show you how to do that right now. For many of us using Microsoft Outlook, we have what appears to be row after row after row of toolbars and buttons. And when I looked at my own Microsoft Outlook, I realized that the placement of these toolbars and buttons was rather arbitrary, and it wasn't conducive to my own workflow, and I wondered if I could perhaps move these buttons so that I could maximize their utility. So I looked into it, and it turns out you can. What you need to do in order to move a toolbar is place your mouse over the left edge of that toolbar where you see that vertical row of dots. Then using your mouse, left click and hold, and then drag the toolbar to wherever you'd like to have it placed. And notice as you move it up, you can begin to recapture some of that screen real estate, and that's very valuable to me. Another thing is, if you have two toolbars of dissimilar size, you can sometimes move them side by each, and they will automatically resize and align so as to take up just one row instead of two rows, because each toolbar doesn't need to have its own row. But then I looked very carefully at my own toolbars and the buttons on each, and I realized even though I have them here, I don't often use them. In fact, some of them I don't use at all. And I wondered if there was a way that I could perhaps turn these toolbars off in their entirety. And it turns out you can. Here's how. Click on the View menu, go down to Toolbars, and notice here I have a check mark next to every available toolbar in my Outlook. That's why it's rather overrun, because I've got everything turned on, and some of these, again, I don't need, like the web. So what I'll do is I will turn that off so that it no longer appears in my Outlook, and already you can see that as it's removed, I start to gain more screen real estate. Now that's one way to access the toolbar menu. Another is to right-click in the neutral space around a toolbar, but not on a toolbar. And when you do, it brings up that same menu. So you can go in and turn off another toolbar that you perhaps don't use. Another option is to take the toolbar and, just as though we were moving it, left click on the edge, drag it out, and you'll notice that it becomes a window overlaid. If you click on the X to close it, that also causes it to disappear. So whatever technique works best for you, you can turn these rows of buttons on and off until it gets to exactly the way you want it. I hope that helps you make your computer work better for you.